purpose of the Fatima apparitions. Why did the Fatima events take place? Why were they organized? This was an enormous and important venture and took a lot of effort to prepare it. To find out what the purpose of the Fatima apparitions was, we have to understand recent Portuguese history. At the beginning of the 20th century, Portugal was a monarchy but was weakened by continuous fighting between the Catholic monarchists and the Republicans. In 1908, King Carlos with his older son, heir to the throne, were killed by Republican assassins, and the king's younger son, Manuel II, assumed power. On the 3rd of October 1910, a revolution took place and the king was forced to leave the country and the republic was proclaimed. The new republican government was atheist and anti-clerical and soon started persecution of the church and believers. Bombs were thrown during religious celebration, convents and seminars were closed, church property was seized by the state, religious education was forbidden, and relations with the Vatican were broken. The government objectives was to remove religion from Portuguese society within 2 generations. This persecution in Portugal started at least 15 years before the persecution of believers in the Soviet Union. If this government policies succeeded, then life in Portugal would be completely changed. The whole moral fabric of society would be destroyed, and all religious life would disappear and religious beliefs would be replaced by a materialistic view of the world. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, with what happened in Russia, we can be sure that spiritual life in Portugal would have been totally wiped out and the old society would be destroyed. In order to stop this atheistic crusade, before it led to dramatic social changes, an intervention was needed. The beings responsible for the Fatima events knew the situation in Portugal and knew that the intervention had to take place before the new regime consolidated its powers. The intervention could not be physical and its purpose would be to strengthen the faith of believers and convert unbelievers. Therefore, the Fatima events were organized for non-believers and atheists, so they had to reach many people, especially intelligentsia, not only the visionaries. It would be not enough to say to atheists that the children saw something. People need to experience supernatural events for themselves to be convinced. For this purpose, the display in the sky was arranged so 50,000 people could witness this incredible show. We can say that the Fatima events fulfill its objectives. After the Fatima apparitions, religion in the country was revived and the atheist government was soon overthrown. The purpose of the apparition was obviously not known to the children and to the pilgrims present at the display. But now, with the hindsight, it is clear that the objectives of the organizers were and that these objectives had been achieved. However, we could say that the Fatima events had also another objectives. It was for the first time in history to show people on earth, not only in Portugal, that a force exists taking care of us, guiding our development and protecting us in the moments of real danger to mankind.